when I hanged 265.
You hang 265 that long ago?
Yeah.
Why don't you hang like 365 by now, dude?
Because I'm a biche. I'm a little biche.
Yeah, 265 way back then was heavy for a lot of people.
What is this, dude? 255 for a complex.
Jeez, man.
I did the best. I think in the open that was my best year. Still.
What year is that?
2014.
2014?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you better step it up this year, man.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Didn't see you there. We're gonna talk about how we met, and it's really actually a cute love story. So if Huddy's editing this, maybe you can put a heart around us. Because as you guys know, we're besties, BFFs, which is why we bicker all the time. Duh. And that's why we do podcasts. We should have started this podcast a long time ago. We started Constant Varied Fitness together, and then Huddy started actually doing all the work. So I told him, hey dude, just keep doing it because I suck at all of these things. So 8 years, 6 years, 5 years, I don't know how many years later, I finally started my own YouTube channel. I just started it way long ago.
Yeah, we're way behind the curve.
Yeah. Well, not you, you're killing it. Constant Varied's killing it. Rolo Dolos, a little bit on the late side. So actually, Huddy told the story of how we met at my wedding. So let's hear it, dude.
About the story at the wedding?
Yeah, well, just tell us how we met for the very first time when we locked eyes from across the gym.
I'm gonna start a little further back than that because we met at CrossFit, and it was funny because I was going to the gym for a while, and I was like, when I first started CrossFit, like from the very first day I walked in and I signed up, it was 7 days a week. Like I would go to the class Monday to Friday, went to the Saturday team class, came to Sundays and did accessory work. So like I was literally there every single day. Otherwise I'd be at home like on Instagram watching videos.
Or working. You were working a full-time job.
Well, working, yeah. But I mean, yeah. So if I was either working, which I hated my job, so I had to go every morning at 5:30 a.m. to make time for the gym. And then on the weekends, I had the weekends off, so I would just always go to the gym.
Yeah.
But I was going to the gym for a while, and then I was doing snatches.
Well, actually, we had to pause right there one more time. I started at CrossFit Marietta like a year and a half, 2 years before this love story even transpired. Is that how you use that word? I don't know. I'm not really good at English. So I had gone to that gym for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then one of those members started another gym, and I wanted to work at a gym, and CrossFit Marietta wasn't looking to hire, so I went with that person to the other gym. So I stopped going to CrossFit Marietta, went to the other gym, and then one random day, I called CrossFit Marietta and I was like, hey, I just need a stretch today. Like, do you guys mind if I just come in for the day? Because the other gym was kind of far away. So I'm sitting there stretching, and
I'm doing snatches from the blocks, which I just had no clue. Back then, I was like, I didn't understand the purpose of blocks. Like, we just have them. I was like, I'm just gonna use them.
Yeah.
And I'm snatching from the blocks, and I was like failing reps at 115, and I don't know what's going on, and I was kind of just like frustrated, but I was like, I'm just gonna keep trying this, and then all of a sudden I see you stretching. You walk into the gym, you're in the middle of the gym just stretching, and then you like look at me, and I'm like, okay, I've never seen this guy before. He's gonna work out or something.
yeah, sub-biche. That's what I did. I was like, sub-biche.
And then from there, I was like, yeah, he's probably just some chump that came to try out CrossFit. And then you walked over, hey, man, if I snatch with you? So you went from coming into stretch to snatches.
And I'll tell you guys,
because you wanted to show off.
No, not because I wanted to show off. In the 2 years I'd done CrossFit, I had only seen 30 to 40-year-olds do CrossFit. I had never met any of my friends. I had never met anybody my age or even close to my age. Everybody had kids and was married and had full-time jobs. I was like the only one that was a full-time student. So I was stretching and I saw this dude over there and I was like, hey, that guy looks like he's from my high school. And maybe he wants to do fitness together because I'm tired of working out by myself. So.
And then we actually did go to the same high school, but we didn't know each other.
Yeah, we just didn't know each other.
Yeah.
It's because I was way cooler. I was in marching band.
Yeah. We had a sick mohawk and everything.
It's pretty cool. One best hair.
Sicker than now.
Yeah. It had different colors and stuff. We could bring it back. I don't think CrossFit Humanity cares.
But yeah, I think just a lot of the gyms around that area were like that. There was well, I think even back then, but this was back in 2014, which doesn't seem like that long ago. It was 5 years ago, but like back then there were a lot less people our age doing it, especially where we were at in Marietta. Like Marietta, there was literally no one our age, nobody, unless like one of the like parents brought in their 17-year-old kids to try it out.
Exactly.
But otherwise, yeah, it was like us against a bunch of adults. But you know, I was working out and done snatches, and then I think you came over and you wanted to work in with me, and then you built up to like 185 or something stupid like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, this guy.
What's up, dog? 185 from the blocks.
Yeah, you want to be friends? Yeah, let's be friends. Okay, let's hang out. Want to snatch like every day from now on? So yeah, and then you took me over to your gym where I worked out a lot, and then kind of learned a lot of different things.
Yeah, well, so after that like initial day of, wow, Roderick may have worth in my life. We're gonna work out together. I had given my phone number, and then I was still going to school full time. He was working full time. So it'd be random, like, hey, are you working out today? Okay, cool. I'll go work out with you at CrossFit Marietta. And after going to Marietta a few times, I was like, hey, you should come check out the gym that I'm working out at. It's freaking nice. All the equipment's brand new. Yeah, it's freaking sick. Like, come check it out. So he'd come up to the gym a few times, worked out. He was working out with me and my buddy Joe. Joe, if you're watching this, dude, hit the like button. We miss you. You're so funny. And so, yeah, what's kind of that's just like how we got the ball rolling. It was like working out at CrossFit Marietta, working out at the other gym, working out at CrossFit Marietta, working out at the other gym. And it was often, you know. When did you quit your job and start coaching at CrossFit Marietta? Because I feel like that's the next.
It was when I was pretending like I was going to go back to school, and I picked up like, what is it? I picked like
political science
and
a music class, intro to music.
Yeah, no, that wasn't yet. I did intro to music, and then I did what else was I? Intro to music, and then I did like coding. Website coding.
Oh, okay.
Like how to make the font bigger and smaller, and I didn't like retain any of it. It was fucking like, it was like essentially if you wanted to learn how to like build a website from scratch, which nowadays is pointless because you can just go to any other platform and they're like, we have all these templates, just plug it in and we'll make the website for you.
Right.
Like there's no need to know coding anymore.
I mean, unless you're working and you're the one making the websites, because thank you, because we don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's way too much work. But yeah, then I did that. I finished those two classes, and then the next year I took like political science, something else, and then political science, like, you need to finish this class with like a 10-paper essay, and I was like, maybe I'm not going to take political science.
Yeah, maybe school's not for me.
Yeah.
So were you going to work at that time too? I don't remember. Were you working full time and school, or did you take work off to go to school?
I stopped working, and I started coaching and doing the school thing, and then eventually I started working at the other gym too. So I was working at two gyms.
Which one?
And then doing school, Renatus.
Oh, no. You got to tell them the story about how we started working at Renatus.
Well, I was doing both of them for a while.
Well, he started just at CrossFit Marietta.
Yeah.
He was just working CrossFit Marietta, and you wanted more hours, and you couldn't get more hours because they had like 10 or 15 coaches. They had a bunch of coaches.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, hey, I don't know if you're interested, but we have some hours that we're willing to give up at Renatus if you want to come coach. And he was like, yeah. So he started coaching at both gyms and would primarily work out with me. Obviously, you know, nobody else his age at CrossFit Marietta, so he would come work out with me. Plus, we're best friends at this. We're already best friends. So, doing both gyms, and then what happened? This is my favorite story ever.
And then I got fired because I slept.
So already, one of the gyms wasn't too fond of the idea that he was working at two different gyms, which I understand a little bit more now, just working at a gym and having, you know, different coaches throughout the entire coaching career. It's kind of nice to have the coach working at one facility, like with that community. It can be done. It's just, yeah, I kind of see where they're coming from. But Huddy didn't do really anything wrong, didn't miss classes often, but he...
At all?
Yeah, never? Yeah.
Wow.
He slept in and missed one noon class. So he coached the noon class. He was slumped-eat in the morning.
No, I coached the morning classes at the other gym.
You coached the morning classes. Took a nap. And then you missed the noon.
It wasn't that I slept through it. It was that I didn't realize I was coaching it.
Oh.
Yeah. Until later on that day. And then allegedly I was supposed to coach the noon and then coach the evening classes as well.
So wait. So I was at Renatus and I was working out and I was there at nighttime and Hudson comes rolling in and I'm like, what are you doing here, dude? You coach Marietta tonight. And he's like, has his L1 in his hand, looking sad as fuck. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I got fired, or they fired me or something. I was like, for what? Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
He's like, because I missed the noon class. So he missed one class, got fired. I mean, I think they just wanted him out of there.
And the noon class was a new class that only averaged like 1 or 2 people in it. Like no one ever made the noon.
I think it was just an excuse to get him out. But I'm glad that happened, because then no one else at Renatus was really. We had 2 coaches. Was it just me, Greg, and then the owner? Mm-hmm. So it was like me, Greg, and the owner. And I was like, hey, how can we divvy up these classes and get Hudson here full time? So pretty much, Greg was finishing his master's program, so he was super busy. And so what we started doing was I would coach 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, and then Huddy would coach 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, and then we used to have a noon class, but we canceled that one. So Huddy would get to my house at 3:30 or 4
Really?
o'clock.
Not like 2 some days.
Well,
2,
no, that was for school. We'll go into that. But this is just for coaching, like during like the summer, like when he got the job. He would get to my house like 3:30 or 4 o'clock. We'd make breakfast, oats, protein, and orange juice. We'd just grind it up, and then we would go. He would just chill at the gym while I coached the morning classes. We would train until like noon, and then we'd go to lunch, and then we'd come back, and then I would chill while he coached the evening. I'd usually just be doing homework or something, and we did that pretty consistently. Now this is how I knew Huddy was a really good friend, because I was going to school full time, and I went to school in Cal State Fullerton, and I had to go from 1 to 9 p.m. or 10 to 7 p.m. So I would still coach the morning classes every morning, 5:30 to 10:30 about, and I wouldn't have any time to work out. So I told Huddy, I was like, hey dude, I can only work out at 2:30 in the morning. He's like, cool, let's do it. So he'd fucking show up at my house at 2:15. We would drive. We would sit in Joe's parking lot for 15 minutes while he was running really late or just waking up. Joe would jump in the back of the car, and then we'd meet at Renatus, take pre-workout, workout, coach. I would drive home. I would sleep, and then I'd drive to Cal State Fullerton, go to school all day, and we just kept repeating that. So anytime, like, they were pretty much at my mercy for one time to work out. I'd be like, hey, I can work out at 10 p.m. Cool, they'd be there. Hey, I can only work out at 2:30. Boom, they'd be there. I mean, no fucking way Hudson would do that anymore, but we did it for quite a few years.
Well, back then I was only coaching a few hours a day.
Oh my god,
I had a lot of free time in my hands.
No, he's gone soft. He goes to sleep at like 7 p.m. now.
Dude, recovery is so important. #whoop.
Whatever, dude. But so that was our life for quite a while. So I mean, I don't know if you have any stories. Or Constantly Varied Fitness was born at that gym while we were in the afternoon. Just instead of going to lunch and sleeping, we would go to lunch and make videos.
Yeah, I was like, every time people join the gym, they always ask the same questions over and over and over. So why not make videos about it? People can get those kind of questions answered. So it was little things like, well, we did first start with like a coach's tip series. I actually kind of want to bring back now that I feel like we could do better at that.
Stretches that you could do.
No. Like we did like coach tips for coaches.
Like how to coach like a deadlift.
Yeah, how to coach correctly.
Some cues and stuff.
Yeah, how
that was
to
pretty
coach
cool.
your coach. But they never did very well. And plus we kind of looked like hobos because you had your big puffy hair, I had my big afro.
Yeah.
We looked very less credible.
Can you link the fucking Constantly Varied, like link one of those first videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Or put it like
I'll have to link the what's in your gym bag video, and you have to watch to the end because that video is so funny.
Yeah, it was good. We thought
bloopers
it was
are funny. Yeah, that was the best. I think I had bloopers back to my video.
Yeah,
bloopers was the best part.
We just don't make mistakes anymore. Whatever.
Yeah, we're just flawless. Yeah, it was like a lot of. I feel like it was a lot of. Obviously, it was a lot of learning that time, like understanding how to communicate with people and how to relay stuff. Because it's not, you can't just be a good coach, or you can't be a good coach based off of your knowledge. You have to like learn how to relate it to people, especially because we were. At the time, 22, 23 years old. We were just kids.
21, dude.
Yeah, we were literally just starting out. And like I was like so amped about it. It was like everything like I was teaching, like, all right guys, it's this, that, this, go. All right, like I was like in people's faces like, pick on the bar. Like, understanding like, well maybe they need, to rest and do manageable sets. And maybe like, it's funny how little I knew back then. And it's like, what's the saying? Like the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, or something like that. So yeah.
I coached at Renatus for 3 years. I think you were there for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Mm-hmm. And as I was getting closer and closer to graduating college, my girlfriend, she's now my wife, lived here in San Diego. And we had always been like, oh, dude, we should move to San Diego. That'd be so sick. Like, imagine living in San Diego. Holy crap. And then we would always just like daydream, like, we can never make that happen. Like, that's going to be way too hard. It's so expensive to live down there. And I got a...
Plus, we were living at home, so we weren't...
Yeah, we were living at home, and all we were spending our money on was supplements, food, and random
My car.
shit that we didn't need. Yeah, I wish we could just grab all that money back.
And I wish my parents moved down to San Diego.
Yeah, right. So I got a text message from actually Path Parallel, who is my first sponsor ever, which is awesome. And they were like, hey, one of the people that buys shorts from us are hiring a full-time coach. I was like, whoa, I never even heard of that. And I'll be honest, when I got that text message, I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I don't know if I'm good enough for this. And then I looked at like the requirements of what I had to do to apply for the job. And I'm like, oh, I got to write like a paper almost. And I got to do like a resume. And I'm like,
I did that for 4 years. I don't want to do that now.
Yeah, I was like, dang. So I was graduating college. Well, technically I finished in December, but I didn't walk until June just because how the semesters worked. So I was technically done with school. I just didn't have my diploma. So I did this stuff. I sent it in, and I got a call. I got an email back from Mr. Adam Babin. If you guys don't know who that is, owner of Power Keg.
Imagine a Viking without the Viking hat.
Yeah, exactly. He's fucking awesome. He's awesome. And I went in for the interview. I feel like I did good at the interview. Huddy can tell you a little about his interview later in this. But the interview wasn't like typical questions. It was, the first question they asked me was, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you? And teach us something without talking. Teach us something without showing us, just talking. What's like just random questions. It wasn't like, why do you want to work here? None of that. So pretty much they were just seeing if you could be quick on your feet and be quick to adapt to like the coaching that's going to be going on. So they told me later now that I was not the best candidate on paper, but I did the best, character-wise and like getting along with them, which is cool. And I got the job. So it was a matter of like, 3 or 4 weeks. I went from, hey, Huddy, I applied for this job in San Diego to, hey, I just put my 2 weeks in here. So I put my 2 weeks in at Renatus. I grabbed all my stuff.
It was like right after the open too, I remember. Like you did the last open workout, and I think it was like that was your last week there.
Was it?
It was like 2015?
2016, I think. 2015, 2016? I don't remember.
2016, you're right.
But literally I grabbed my dresser. This is the first time, so I moved out once for college, and I was only there for a semester, and then I started commuting just so I could have a job, and because I missed my mommy. And so this is the first time I was actually moving out of the house, like for good. So I grabbed my dresser, I grabbed all my clothes, which fit in my car, drove down to San Diego, and I'll just call her my wife now. My wife, she let me stay in her room with her, like her roommates were cool with it, they didn't care. All my stuff fit in there. And from that day on, I just started bugging Hudson, like, hey dude, you should move to San Diego. Let's do it. Like, I'm here already, we'll figure something out. Just move. And I remember May 30th? I remember this like yesterday because I wrote down a pros and cons list. I made him write one down. What are the pros and cons of you moving to San Diego? And so you want to take it from there? Do you remember that?
I remember making a list.
We were in the promenade. You had just come. It was like the second time you came to visit me. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty much by myself. I didn't know anybody, just wifey.
When you moved in, were you at the
promenade?
The crappy? Oh, you were at the nice part.
Yeah, we were at the nice one.
Oh, you said you had good roommates. This is like the first roommate was very nice.
No, that place wasn't that great. No, we had lived with already Lauren, which is our buddy's soon-to-be wife, and then the other roommate didn't even live there. So that's why I tried to convince Huddy. I was like, just move in with us. So what do you remember after that?
So I was at home thinking about like, that'd be so amazing to move to San Diego. Like that'd be like right now. Murrieta, where we grew up, is like I hate Murrieta.
Yeah.
Like it's so boring. There's nothing to do. It's a very nice city, very clean, but like it's literally you go to the mall or you ride dirt bikes or you go wine tasting. That's all there is to do. Or hope someone has a pool. So like I was tired of being there and I wanted something new. I wanted something different because I feel like I've been there my whole entire life. So I moved there when I was like 6 or 7, And I remember making this list, and I was like, there's no reason why I shouldn't move. I had a ton of money saved up from that job I was working.
Yeah.
So I was working ever since I was like 17. I was working like 50+ hour weeks. Like I was working all the time.
Right.
Cause I just like, it's like, nothing makes me work harder than seeing like, if you put in this much more than your money goes up like this. Like, whereas like nowadays it's kind of like you get the grind, and you see it slowly come up as well. But like back in the day,
when you lived with your parents, you didn't pay for shit, so all that extra money just went straight to your savings.
Yeah, but like when you have a job where it's like you work an extra couple hours, you're gonna get paid for those extra couple hours. Like, yeah, sure, I'll work as many hours as you want me to. And then, so I had a ton of money saved up, and then I remember thinking about like, how am I gonna tell this to my dad? I was like, hey dad, I'm gonna move to San Diego without a job or without anything and just trying to make it work.
He was actually down. I remember you were pretty nervous, and he was just like,
yeah, he didn't care.
Yeah, he was like, he said, if anything happens, you just move back.
Yeah, exactly. I'm only an hour away. It's not like I'm moving like across the country or something.
That brings back memories of Hudson being nervous to ask his dad. He's like, dude, I don't know what he's gonna say. How am I gonna tell my mom? And then after asking, I remember texting him, and he's like, yeah, they're cool with it. Like, they think it's a good idea. And I was like, see? Like,
yeah, as soon as...
You've been so nervous to ask.
As soon as they said that, I was like, it's like a huge...
relief.
Not just that, like a huge like excitement too. I was like, oh shit.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It was like being I felt like an adult. It's funny, like I recently just came to the realization like that, like we are adults.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to turn 25. It's like, it feels like I'm literally just a kid, and like I do like super kiddish shit all the time, and
Same.
it's like we're super...
Do you guys feel like that?
Like we're obviously mature when we need to be, but like we're still super immature.
I'm not mature at all.
Yeah, you're kind of, even when you coach, it's kind of part of your personality.
Yeah, that's why people love me. It's fine.
But yeah, it's like I'm like, back then I was 21, 22 years old when I asked my dad. So it's like, really, when my dad was growing up, when he was like,
he had a house, he had kids.
Yeah, for real, he had kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like super like crazy to think that like, yo, I'm an adult, it's time to, fly from the nest.
Yeah.
And hopefully don't fucking hit the pavement.
Yeah. What's funny is like I see not only like our relationship but my life like in chapters. And once Hudson moved to San Diego, like it was like boom, next chapter, because so many things have happened since we moved here. So doing CrossFit Marietta, CrossFit Renatas, and all that stuff that happened, how competitive we started to becoming, the things that we wanted to do, started to learn, like they were like shaped there, because before I was a music major, I was in marching band, like I was a performer in music, and it shifted all towards CrossFit, meeting Hudson, and I mean that's obviously a big part of my life. We're not just like buddies, cool, nice to meet you. It's like we've done a whole lot of things together and like grown with each other. So moving to San Diego was like boom, the next step, and you guys are gonna hear it right now. So I had this job at Power Keg. And I think my favorite part about Huddy moving to San Diego is I had one free membership to give to anybody I wanted, and I had it for wifey, but she didn't really do CrossFit that often. So when Huddy texted me, I'm moving down to San Diego, he was also moving into our apartment complex. I said, hey, I'm giving my free membership to Huddy. And she was like, what? I'm like, you don't really show up, and Huddy's literally probably gonna train with me every single day. Like that's what we did here in Temecula, Merida. He's probably gonna do the same thing here. So yeah, so she wasn't too excited about that, but he didn't have a job. He was literally gonna be living off his savings and trying to figure it out, like see what's gonna happen. So we'll talk about maybe day number 2 of living in San Diego.
So, well, actually, to bring it back further, it's like when I moved all my stuff down to San Diego, I wasn't as lucky as you to go just bring a little bit of clothes. I had to bring like my dresser and stuff, so I rented a van, and I'd take like take a trip down and back to fill up the van, take it down, empty it, bring it back up, take my car with all the stuff, come down, and then I stayed in the den, which is where the old roommate was. It wasn't like an actual room. It was like I had a curtain to my room, and I was super like. I mean, it worked. It didn't bother me that much, other than everyone at the house needed to get up early in the morning.
Yeah, everybody was getting up at like 4:30 in the morning every day. So that was even me, because I coached the mornings at Power Keg. So literally, and he didn't have a job or anything, so he was just listening to us.
Obviously, it didn't matter because I could just go back to sleep or just do whatever.
Right, but it's annoying. You guys know how annoying it is to get waken up at 4 in the morning when you don't have to.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't really know about this because I've never asked you. But so while I was at work and doing all my stuff, and doing that, Alyssa was gone, Lauren was gone. What were you doing at home?
Making YouTube videos. I was making YouTube videos. I was riding like the bike around town. I was doing a bunch of random stuff. I think it's like right after Pokemon Go came out too. So I would hold infatuated with that. But I was like mostly just like exploring the town. I was literally just like driving around. That's why I know the streets so well.
Yeah.
So I literally just like
explored for.
I did the same thing when I got my motorcycle for the first time. I would just like kind of get on and just drive around and see things. It was mostly like YouTube videos. That's when I was trying to make the YouTube thing really pop in. And nowadays it's like, unless you have 1 million subscribers, you don't make money from YouTube. Make money from other ventures that you use like to help promote with YouTube.
We're gonna make millions of dollars on YouTube, guys. Just get ready.
Just give us 20 years.
We'll blow up.
But what was the question?
Well, so I'll start talking about. So Huddy would come to the gym. And so these dudes didn't know who the heck this guy was. I just told him it's my good buddy. So he would literally come work out, and then he would sit on the couch that we had at the gym all day long, like every day. And I think about a week or two, they were like, hey, your buddy can't just sit here all day and be on the computer. Like, that's not okay. And I was like, okay. So I was like, hey, Huddy, when you finish working out, just go to like the coffee shop or something. So what's the first job you got while you were here? Because he was literally looking for jobs every single day, like anything. He got to the point where he's like, dude, should I just get like a normal job? You know, I can't find a coaching job. So what was your first job?
First job was
in San Diego.
I think I got it through Adam and Manny.
Yeah, they had mentioned it. Like, hey, there might be some people that are looking for it.
Yeah, so there's...
where was it?
I believe it was. There was I can't remember what it was. I think it was called the Hilton. It was the Hilton, the one off of... Waterfront over there near downtown, and it was 3 of like the staff members, actually 2 staff members. One was the guy's husband.
Yeah, it's because Johnny didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So they had offered it to you.
So I went there twice a week to train these guys for like $40 an hour, which is not bad for like, it was like, literally was like, they just wanted to really get sweaty and just like have a fun 60 minutes. So I just went there, and it was funny because like so it was a huge hotel. Like you walk into the lobby, you go up some stairs, down some stairs, and then I went over to where their fitness area was, but it was super tiny. But like I'd go take like a set of dumbbells, or like a slam ball, or like some mats, whatever it was, and I would take that outside to like their back area that was on the water. And then I would just take them to like, hey guys, today we're doing freaking 30
I remember you programming all that stuff for them.
Yeah.
So you were doing that how many times a week?
Twice a week.
Okay, so $40.
It's usually once a week. Because most time they'd cancel.
Yeah, right. You still got paid if they canceled, no? I think you did.
I don't remember.
But so you were getting shitballs. You were getting paid. You would tell $80.
Know about it.
You're getting paid $80 a week. You want to use that one? I can give you a new one. $80 a week, and so I don't know if it was at this time, but I got to tell you guys my favorite story, one of my favorite stories ever.
You've told people that story more and more, like the past like month.
I know, it's so funny to me. So me and Huddy didn't really have any friends yet. Everybody at Power Keg, they were like our age, but they didn't just work out. Like they weren't very competitive, and we weren't very.
Plus, they always go out like drinking.
Yeah, they would go out, and we were learning how to be more personable. We're from Temecula. We didn't know what people our age did really. We're pretty freaking soft. Like we're
homebodies.
Yeah, we like to stay at home and stuff. So every Friday we would play Xbox. We would eat out somewhere, and we would hang out because usually my lady and the other roommates weren't home. So it was just us having like our own little party, doing whatever. So anyway, we did that consecutively for a few weeks, and Huddy had been getting paid $80 a week for quite some time and didn't have a job for a while, so he's burning through his savings, just burning through his savings.
I had $7,000 saved up.
Yeah, he had seven grand saved up, and he was just burning through it. So one night we were like, hey, yeah, we finished coaching. I closed up the gym and we went and we got In-N-Out. We ate In-N-Out, we're hanging out. I jumped back to go play some Xbox, and I look over and Hudson's like this, head down on the table. And I look over there and I'm like, what's up, dude? Are you okay? And he does this. I gotta fucking act it out. He goes, I don't have any fucking money. Why did I get In-N-Out? He was pissed. Because he had been saving, like he needs to save money because he's burning through it. He can't find a freaking job, and he was losing his mind. I mean, we had a burger, fries, and a drink, which at In-N-Out's like $5, $6, and he was starting to lose it because he just saw his savings go. But that's just so funny looking back at it now. I mean, we both cracked up at the time as well because I was very optimistic, like, dude, you're gonna find something. Plus, I had been like sugaring up Adam and Manny, like, hey, come on, dude, this guy's awesome. Like, he's gonna work really hard. He's going to get the job done. Like, let's go. Let's get him on here. They just weren't looking for any coaches at the time. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite moments of Huddy looking for a job in San Diego. Just, I don't have any fucking money. I shouldn't have bought In-N-Out.
Yeah, I see you're struggling.
Yeah.
Struggling to buy In-N-Out.
So,
but then for my next job, I started working, luckily.
Yeah,
so
you were on Craigslist, right? You Craigslist, Facebook, anywhere.
Yeah,
you were looking.
before I even moved down, though, before I was still in Marietta, I sent out a bunch of applications to gyms that are around the area, like to CrossFit gyms. And then when I did, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You getting comfortable?
Yeah.
And then when I sent out all the applications, like no one responded. But I moved down to San Diego, a couple months go by, and then finally Patrick from Code 3 Athletics San Diego, RIP, he said like, hey, yeah, if you want to start picking up some hours, come on by. And then I just went there. Like, it was super awkward at first. Like it was such a weird feeling. I'm pretty, obviously you know this feeling.
Yeah.
Of like going to a gym, knowing nobody, and then already like telling people what to do.
Yeah,
it was
weird.
much different at Marietta and Renato, so like you know the members first, like as a friend.
Yeah, because you were a member at the gym before coaching.
Exactly. Yeah, so everyone's already cool with you. Whereas like people are kind of like, well, I don't know this person. This person actually knows.
Yeah, is this person credible? What the hell?
Exactly. Does this person snatch 25? Probably not.
Yeah,
so I don't want to listen to him. Yeah, look at it. Probably barely snatches 130.
Probably wears lifters when he does box jumps.
Yeah, exactly. Probably puts on lifters to go running. But then I started coaching there for a little bit, but it wasn't much money. It was very little money, but I was like, at this point, I'll take whatever I can. And I feel like I had another job. I can't remember the other job I had. I feel like I had a third one, something coach-related. I can't remember. But it was some of that, some of the Hilton stuff. They slowly started to fizzle away. Like, Code 3 Athletics got screwed over. The San Diego one, they have multiple locations, I want to say, but the San Diego one got screwed over because they kept having to move to find a new spot because getting kicked out. Until eventually Patrick was like, yeah, I'm done with that. But then, like, during all this time, again, I was making YouTube videos, so I had a bunch of time in my hands. And that's probably like the most profitable time on YouTube for me, because I was like literally pumping out a video like every day.
Single day.
Yeah, I was trying to make something and trying to learn something new that I could share about. So, like, my video editing and like my idea of how to shoot and stuff was getting good. I was taking photos and learning how to like do like photography, like low key, nothing like professional. Like, I don't know, like a whole bunch. But like I feel like I knew enough to definitely get me by. And then that's when I think I don't remember. I think I volunteered to take photos.
No. So what happened was he was getting better. Also, if you guys don't know, Huddy's actually pretty like artistic. He doesn't do. I mean, besides videos, but like he can draw shit like nothing. I remember one time during Murphy, like drew it like a nice ass flag in chalk on the floor, and he started drawing it. And, you know, like typical person, draw a square, and then you'd put some lines in it. Like it was awesome. So pretty artistic. His videos were getting really, really good. He would just watch like what's the dude on YouTube? He made so many viral videos. Casey Neistat, is that his name? Is that how you say it? So he was like watching those dudes' videos, like lots of vloggers. So he was doing similar things. He got like this piece of shit camera, and he would put it onto his bike, and he'd ride around like to the beach.
I went to like Mission Bay.
Yeah, and then he'd come in the gym, and we would do like in the day.
My vlogs were lit. I don't know why.
Yeah, they were good. They were super good. So one time I was watching one of them at work. I was allowed to do that. We were, just as long as you get your work done. And Adam saw it, and Adam was like, "Oh man, the picture and the quality is super nice. Like the editing skills is good." It's not what he sounds like, but that's what he's gonna sound like today. All right, yeah, it's pretty good, man. Pretty good, And I was like, I was trying to fucking butter this guy up with multiple sticks of butter all of the time. I was like, yeah, Huddy does this. He's super freaking good. He should like take pictures and make videos and all that stuff. And Adam was like, you should be like, cool. And then kind of came back onto his computer, kept doing stuff. And then Huddy started, I told Huddy, I was like, dude, just freaking like talk to them a little bit more often, like get it going and see if they can, maybe there's an opportunity there. Cause we're not looking for coaches right now. They had just hired me and another guy. So finally Adam was like, I'm trying to do some, what is it called? Sponsored ads on like Facebook, and I want to make videos and take pictures, are you interested in learning that? And Huddy was like, yes. I'll learn it. I'll do anything. Please, thank you. Okay.
We jump on a bridge? Yes, I'll jump on a bridge. How much you want to pay me?
Yeah, he's like, I'm tired of driving everywhere and going to the Hilton all the time. He already worked out at Power Keg all day long with me. We would do Hyperfit and it would take us like 5 hours to finish. So he's like, if I don't have to drive anywhere and have to come back, like, let's do it. So that's how he started. He started doing Facebook ads, pictures for the gym, videos for the gym, testimonials, coach videos. And then you finally started getting like, he paid you for a certain amount of videos. He paid you for like doing pictures, etc., right?
For the videos, yeah, and for the Facebook ad stuff, I believe, but not for the picture. I think pictures I just kind of did on my own.
Just
so I
for
just
fun.
wanted to, build out because then eventually, I don't know when in this whole cycle of me becoming part of the Power Keg staff, like I started doing the Instagram, but like I just wanted, wanted a bunch of photos for Instagram because like. Back in the day, when people like Instagram was like much more chill. People nowadays like are saturating it so much. But back in the day, I was posting 5 or 6 times a day on Instagram for Power Keg.
Yeah.
And we were averaging like 150 to 200 followers a day.
They still have all their their engagement is obviously 0 because they don't post, but they still have like 8,000 followers.
Yeah, like
they went from like 1,000 to like 8,000. They did good.
Yeah.
Or 4,000 or something like that.
I was I was all about like I still am all infatuated with Instagram. So I was like doing that, and then eventually I think after like being a part of like all the other behind the scenes stuff for so long, is when they finally offered me the job opportunity to interview.
Yeah. Okay. So another good part: Huddy never wears pants. Huddy never wore any. I've never seen Huddy.
That's such a
pants.
random statement when people. Yeah. Okay. I never wear pants like in my daily life. I always wear shorts.
Never wears pants at home either. No. So the interview's coming up. I told Hudson. I was like, dude. It's not going to be normal questions. Like, here are the questions. I told him, I wasn't supposed to tell him the questions. I told him the questions, all right? And I figured he would take those seriously and like go home and study and stuff because there was a few other people applying for the job.
Well, I think I didn't study. I won't say that. But I felt like knowing the questions, I had a good idea of the things I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But then I think when they presented to me, I kind of like froze up.
Yeah, so I don't know if you got... I don't know. So you played football. Was there ever a time like where you went out there and then your mind just went blank, or you never like did I don't know. If you
I think every time that's why I wasn't good.
I'll say like doing like drumline marching band. You know the 10-minute show, and the second you get on the field and they start the show, you like don't know where you are, and you just go, and then at the end you're like, oh, I remembered everything. Thank God. Whew. So if you don't practice, or if you think you know what you're going to say and then you get up there, usually it's just like, oh shit, I don't know what I was going to I don't know anything I was going to say. Your mind goes blank. So I tried to help him prep. There was a few other people applying. What he had on his side was that Adam and Vanny already really liked him, but they wanted to give a few other people. I think they wanted him to sweat. I think they knew they were going to give him the job, but they just wanted him to have to go through the same process as everybody else. So take us through the day of the interview.
So the day of the interview, well, I mean, they asked a bunch of questions, but all went horrible. Like it was nothing. It wasn't like. Well, here's the thing. I am an introvert naturally. Where like I don't talk much. So like when people ask me to talk, it's like I'm still not going to talk that much. And then like they just asked me these certain questions like that I just didn't know the answers to. I didn't flow very well, and I know it didn't do very well. But when they asked me what's the most embarrassing moment or whatever like that, I remember one time, I'm not going to say where I was or whose house I was at because they might watch this, but I was at someone's house. I think I might have told you this. And like it was like a super hot summer day, and I was like hanging out at someone's house, and it was like probably like 100 degrees. And like my stomach was not happy. My stomach was killing me. I was like, oh man, I'm hurting real bad. So then I had to go to the bathroom. So then I go into the house, and I go into the bathroom, and at this person's house, they had like a concrete floor. So there was, where the door was, there's a little bit of space, like as if there would need to be carpet there, but there wasn't because it was concrete. And I go in there, and I just had bubble guts, and I was tearing up his bathroom, and I'm sure you could hear all of it because like there was no buffer underneath the door. So that was my embarrassing story. But yeah, it didn't go very well. They asked, because the 3 questions were, no, it was 2 questions. It was like, teach us something without talking, show us something without, or
no.
show us how to do something without using your hands.
It was 2 things. Like teach us something without talking.
Yeah.
Teach us something with only saying stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
so one not talking, one talking.
Yeah. I don't care remember the not.
You taught him how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I did.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so let me just all right. So
I should have not gotten the job right after that. I would have fired myself.
Oh my gosh, Huddy. So Huddy comes out of the interview and I was like super fucking hyped. I was like, dude, I gave you all the questions. Like, you got this. I bet you practice. It's gonna be awesome. He's like, I fucking did terrible. I was like, what are you talking about? What did you say for this? He's like, I told them to come back to it and they didn't. And I said, what about this? And he's like, I told them, like, I don't know, but to come back to it. And they didn't. They just finished the interview. And I got out of here. Oh my god.
Thank God I was good with the camera, man.
Oh man. So after that interview, we actually knew the other people applying for the job, and they came in and worked out a few times. And I guess Adam Manny just preferred, Huddy's, like the way he meshed with the gym people in the community. So he got the job. How? I don't know. Thanks, Adam and Manny, because you kept us together once again.
I'd be back in your head right now if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, probably. So then you started coaching classes, and I just got to premise this because our roles will flip-flop here in a few minutes. I pretty much got Huddy the job at Power Keg, and I was trying to teach him as much as I could. Like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. I had already taken flack from Manny and Adam for doing shit that I thought was right. Like coaching with my shirt off, not wearing a coach's shirt, not knowing people's names, etc. So
mobilizing when coaching.
Yeah, so pretty much every day would be me trying to make sure that he wasn't going to get in trouble and was doing everything that I already did wrong. And then we'd get home and pretty much talk about all right, how can we do this? How can we do this? Let's do this better. Let's try to get these members. Because the more members we had, the better we would get paid more. And that wasn't you at first, but that became you. So Huddy was pretty much helping me get more athletes so that I could get paid more money, which was fucking awesome. And so slowly you got the opportunity to bring athletes onto your payroll. And we were banging that shit out. It was like someone would walk in and it was like, who's next? If it was him, he would like go up there, what's up, boom, 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 sign that person up. And what was cool was, the only downside is our hours got flip-flopped because we were both coaching now. So Huddy would be at home, someone would walk in, but I knew it was his turn on the roll of things, and I'd get these people to sign up, and I'd text them, hey dude, this person can only come at this time, you want them? Got him, boom. Send it to him, all the information's done, and vice versa. I'd be at home, get an email, this person signed up there at Fundamentals, 7 p.m., boom, Huddy had signed them up. It was just back and forth. We were getting people on PT, we were getting better as coaches. Shout out to Manny. Manny did a whole bunch of coaching help. Every 6 months he would do coaching reviews. And I don't know if you guys watch this and you guys do know Manny. Manny will never tell you did a good job unless it was flawless performance. And that's one of the things I appreciated the most, because we'd get to these coaching reviews and he'd be like, I fucking got this. I crushed it. And then we'd have a scale 1 to 5 and he's like, you got a 2 on here because of this, 3 on here. And you're just like, whew, I guess I got stuff to work on. And I feel like that helped shape us as coaches. So I don't know if you want to say anything about your experiences after you started coaching at Power Keg, because I think that's all I have.
Because of Power Keg, that's how we actually grew and became such. I don't think if it wasn't for Power Keg, we would be in the same situation we are right now.
Absolutely,
because of Power Keg, the way that things are run there, it was there is no okay class. It's you're gonna go out there and you're gonna perform as if it's the last class you're ever gonna coach.
Yeah.
Or it might be because we're gonna freaking fire your ass.
Yeah.
So
or it might be because the gym gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But it was the one thing that was great about Manny was that Manny never let anything slide. It was
never.
I remember the feeling of when Manny's sitting in his chair, watching, at his desk. It was you always know he's watching, so you always do your best, and you kind of look over at the end of the class,
yeah, how was that class? That's what I fucking loved. After every class, you would sit down, we sat right in front of him, so he'd be like, hey, good job on this, make sure you do this next time. Or, dude, what was that? Are you tired? And the thing that I appreciated the most was after the class, he would either, offer you some advice, or he'd be like, hey, let's go get some coffee, let's talk. Or, hey, you seem really tired today, is everything okay? Or he'd have food or something. He'd be like, hey, I'll coach the next class, eat your food, and then come cover me after. So even though we were getting paid for that class, he would cover those classes. He would just make sure that we were primed and ready to coach classes. And that took, it really took my coaching from here to here, in my opinion. Like that was where I grew a ton. Anything else from Power Keg before we tell them why we don't coach there anymore?
No, I mean, well, I guess it goes to show that it's not like, even though facility's nice, equipment's nice, like Power Keg, like even though towards the end of its lifespan,
it was like a fucking grungy basement.
There was this, like the video, like I remember taking pictures, and like they'd always come out slightly blurry because I have to use like such crazy high ISO to make it like bright enough to take a picture. Because it's literally this is a premise what we have going on later, but it was literally like underground, like because it was on a hill, so the hill sloped down into the cul-de-sac, and then the cul-de-sac is where our door was. So you go in the door and you come inwards into the ground where our building was.
Yeah, it was like a 100-year-old building basement.
It was all brick. The floor was like a freaking like water. It was like all like this and cracked and broken.
Yeah.
It was all, everything was brown. There's pipes.
Literally the walls were painted brown for some reason.
The pipes there's like pipes from the upstairs like salon above us that were like all coming into our space, and it was very unappealing. But I mean, because I feel like because the coaching was so A1, that's what made people want to
be there.
Yeah. And
so we did like over $50,000 of renovations. We were upping our coaching. We were doing a 6-week challenge where we were getting, I mean, we weren't getting 100 people, but we were seeing at least 200 to 300 new faces talking about CrossFit. Like it was, everything was starting to get bigger and bigger. I was getting paid as much as, I mean, like, so man, like I was able to live in San Diego and be comfortable and not have, I could pay my credit card off every month. Like I was comfortable.
And look towards getting the house sometimes in here.
Yeah, exactly. I got a new motorcycle. My car paid off. Like I was feeling freaking good. It was like maybe there for a year and a half, almost maybe 2 years. And I get a call actually from Carson. Shout out to Carson. And he's like, "Hey, bro, the gym's flooded." Oh no! I get a text from Manny, and it says emergency. And I'm like, emergency? My heart drops. Like I literally woke up, and 1 second later he texted me. Like I knew something was going on. And he sent me a picture of the gym, and it's just completely up to water, like up to waist height in water. And I'm like, fuck. But it didn't cross my mind that this was the end of Power Keg or my job or anything. I just figured we'd take the water out, clean the equipment, and we'd be good to go. So later,
this is like right the day before your birthday.
Day before my birthday, yeah. I got a call from Carson, and he FaceTimed me. He's like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, dude, the gym's closed today." He's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Walk down there." He lived right there. And then he saw it, and he was like, "Holy shit." So after that, the gym got destroyed. We did some like park workouts and stuff. It just wasn't the same. It was really hard. And
yeah, we went from a CrossFit gym to a boot camp.
Yeah, we started figuring out that like, hey, this is not coming back, because they were taking it was millions of gallons of water.
The city screwed us over.
Yeah, the city and the contractors. I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know how it'll affect what's going on, but they're in litigation with Adam. So we were pretty much gymless, didn't have a place to work out. We lost our jobs. We went from making good money to making $0 an hour. And yeah, so that was a really big fucking gut punch and a really big learning experience. So I lost all my personal training athletes except one. Irene still she came to my apartment gym and would do personal training, but everybody else was kind of in shock and was like, "Hey, we're gonna pause for now." So at least I got some PT money from Irene during that time, and Amanda Windsor. So what was your experience when that happened? I know ours was a little bit different. You had just coming on as a coach. You still weren't full time. You were making decent money, but it wasn't like, oh man, if I lose this, I'm screwed. It was like, this is the most I've been making at San Diego, but it's only been a few months.
Yeah, it was just the same as yours, just not to the same level. It was just like, man, everything was going great, and then all of a sudden, shit hits the fan. But yeah, luckily, because from what I believe is like the water, like burst through, because like it wasn't just like the water kind of started seeping and filled up to that height. The water freaking
broke the walls.
blew through the wall. So like literally,
I don't know if you have pictures, but
it happened. It happened on a Sunday night, where like if literally would have happened any other Saturday night, or if it happened any other day,
people would have been in the gym.
Yeah, exactly. So it could have been much more traumatic. Could have like people, it could have. Who said it would happen in the middle of the day and then freaking the building would have collapsed something. So at the end, it's like, it's super shitty, but like it could have been so much worse and could have been so traumatic.
So at that time, we finally, the owners talked around like to the gyms, like, hey, some gyms offered like our people for discounted rates. Some of them offered free, and Humanity was one of them that offered us for free for 1 month if our coaches shadowed their current coaches, and they could only come in at 5:30 or like 7 p.m. And before we go into that story, I'll kind of premise with this with Huddy adapted very, very quickly to the situation, and I was pretty much
Gemini skills.
I was like in denial for probably like 6 months to a year. Like I was super grumpy, didn't want to get to know anybody. I didn't want to coach. Like I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to do personal training, and I wanted to work out, and I wanted to go home. So we ended up choosing to go to Humanity. We coached at only 5:30 in the morning, like with their coaches.
It was like 5:30, then we had our own like 7:30 class, something like that.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I started coaching that. But you want to talk a little bit about Humanity and like how you started doing there, because you started coaching, you started going to the community events.
Well, I think that one thing that I try to do most of my life is that like I always try to think like shit could always be worse.
Right.
Shit could always be worse. Like I could literally I could be in my car and break both my legs tomorrow and be fucked. So it's like at the end of the day, I still have my health. I'm not poor where I can't pay rent this month. Like I'm be okay for a little bit. So just be happy and try to make things work. I mean, obviously I don't have that mindset all the time, because sometimes I'm like, oh, this is the worst day of my life. But like I try to always keep that more positive mindset. And it's like when I went to Humanity, it was like a whole new group of people. It's like I wanted to show that like, hey, I wanted to be a good representation of like, you know, being a good person and showing people like, hey, yeah, Power Keg, everyone's nice. Because naturally there was a clash in how Power Keg and many people kind of went together. Like we've all talked about it as
first,
a team.
It was
like,
tough.
Yeah, like Power Keg was very like, I would say it was a little bit younger. Like the overall, like there was definitely young people in Humanity, but like overall, Power Keg is a lot younger and more loud and rambunctious, whereas Humanity is more like conservative, and it's a lot of like more more like older people, like people in their 30s and 40s. So it was like, it just wasn't a really good mesh at the beginning, but I was kind of like just probably the middleman and show people like, hey, yeah, Power Keg's great, Humanity's great. Like it's all like, it's just at the end of the day, we're doing the same thing. We're just working out. We're just doing CrossFit. Like that's the whole point. We're here right now is to work out. Like obviously people make friends. It's community, and that's a big part of it. But it's like if you're here to work out.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's just have fun and let's just work out like we've been doing. Like we thought we were pretty good coaches when we went to Power Keg. It's like, you know, we've been doing it for a while. I'm like, yeah. But it's like back in the day, we used to sit on boxes and watch people lift.
Yeah, we would literally sit down like this and go like, all right, guys, here's the warm up. All right, get it done, and we'd eat and chill.
Yeah, like it was not very professional at all. To where we were drilled to be good coaches. So then we become these coaches, and now we're at Humanity. It's like, all right, let me just show people like, yo, this is what we got to bring the offer. Mm-hmm. So people kind of grew to my liking me, and like I was trying to be the middleman again, like and trying to just be like, you know, like who cares who's like where you're from or what it is, like it's just to have fun. We started to become more prevalent with the normal classes, to where I actually got to be a part of like their normal class schedule.
Right. I was still on the sideline at this point. I was not doing well.
Yeah, and then eventually they moved me on to head coach, where I kind of like took over most of the responsibilities of certain stuff. The management left, and then Shauna came management, but that was after we had like made you the barbell coach. Yeah. So I was like, we can like, because barbell went away because the barbell coach left. But that was something that was already going on before we even got there. Like, right. Barbell coach was kind of upset because like he didn't have enough space to do his thing, and he didn't feel like he was appreciated enough. Because like he wanted to be like barbell, like strict powerlifting, like if you do powerlifting, there is no CrossFit. Like it's like such a like, he tried to like bring his extreme powerlifting into the CrossFit realm, which like wasn't very like cohesive, obviously. Whereas like a lot of the people that do weightlifting or do barbell club now do CrossFit also. Like right. It's just another thing that they add. So everyone wanted a new barbell class, and then we, you know, we like, okay,
Well,
let's have Roger coach
also,
it.
I didn't know really what was going on, but I was getting a lot of, hey, how come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing that? From like the management there. And I was like, I'm doing all those things. I don't know who's telling you that I'm not. Like, I am a good coach. I haven't had like room to prove myself. But you know, like I come in here and I do the best job that I can. And they went to Huddy and were like, Huddy, is Roderick actually good? Like, what's his deal? So that's where he finally was able to butter me up, you know? He was able to be like, yeah, Roderick's freaking savage. He's just having a hard time transitioning. Like, let him have the chance. Don't like put him on the sideline or get him out of here. And I think it was just again, like the communities clashing, and the coaches there having to mix with our coaches, which is so tough. I can't imagine if the roles were reversed at Power Keg, new coaches coming in. So it was definitely tough, and maybe I just wasn't appreciated for the things that I was doing, which I completely understand. So there was just miscommunication often, and I was just getting a lot of flack, and it wasn't looking, nothing that I did was looking good for myself. So.
And then eventually, like, you became more part of the.
I decided, I woke up one morning and I was like, all right, I need to get my shit together because Power Keg's not coming back. So I better learn everybody's name and start coaching and actually do something here. And they offered me the barbell position while I was on my honeymoon. And I was like, I mean, I've never coached barbell. I've never done any of this. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I might as well try and see what happens. And if they want this class to grow, like, I'll grow this class. At the time, it was like 2 people consistently. That's it. So. Yeah.
And the reason it had such a problem before was because it was like so spotty. It was so all over the place. Like, people were it was set from like 4 to 5 or whatever. People would just come in like either at 3:30 and start, come in like 5 and start. Yeah, people were just kind of all over. That's what part of the hecticness was, because the gym was just, it's a decent space, but then the gym's kind of popping during the evening, and then people were like, yeah, like, there's not enough bars, not enough weights, you're in the way. So yeah, it was just very unstructured. And then you polled people, said, hey, originally it was mostly powerlifting with a little bit of weightlifting.
I said,
and then now you're like, what do you guys want? And then it was like, essentially no one wanted powerlifting. Really.
Well, I told them, I was like, hey, look, I'm not very comfortable with powerlifting. I'm more comfortable with weightlifting. Who's down to do weightlifting? So we did both for a few weeks, and I was like, look, guys, there's not enough people doing powerlifting. Let's just focus on weightlifting. If you guys are here to get stronger, you're still going to get stronger. You can still do the power lifts. Let's see how it goes. But kind of like back to like the relationship that we had and like how we met, how we done things. We've been at all of these gyms together so far, you know, throughout humanity's growth and all that stuff, just like growing together, being the like barbell coach, doing personal training and trying to like grow and be better. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. Like, we've been at Humanity for a while. We were at Power Keg before. I don't know what's next. I hope Humanity stays here for a while, but hopefully just roles and things like that continue to get better and get to be better coaches.
Yeah, because during that process they had the new owners, which had to, you know, figure out the finances and figure out how they wanted to plan stuff out, and like a bunch of renovations happened inside the gym, and now they're going to keep doing some of those things so they're all finished up, and then like their goal is to, like, if you look us up on Yelp, we're like the most highly rated gyms on Yelp. Like, we have the best reviews. Like, people come, we get 100 drop-ins a month. Like, and that's just like a lot of word of mouth. That's a lot of just from Yelp and Google and that kind of stuff. Like, we don't do much advertising other than paying, you know, one of our staff members to run the Instagram, but we don't really do ads or anything like targeted. Like, we're really trying to force bodies in there. So it's like, once things start to settle where we're comfortable where we're at, because like I feel like the owners are they're very based on like aesthetics as well, and they want to make sure everything looks pretty and presentable, so that way like if someone walks in the gym, awesome coaches, awesome facility, awesome equipment, boom, there's no reason why someone wouldn't want to sign up and why we would charge a premium rate for what we offer, because there's a lot of gyms around us that are cheaper, and they're like,
you have gotten so off topic, it's crazy.
What do you mean?
We're talking about us, dude, and you're talking about Cross Humanity. How you should look. He's just brainwashed to fucking get you to join Humanity.
Yeah, come sign up.
Well, so what I was kind of gonna go towards is like that's where we've been. That's our whole journey, and I feel like the next step is like competing at a high level together, because we've done competitions together. We have Granite Games in 4 days, which you have to sign up for because Dan was only able. You have to sign up individually.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's $25. But yeah, so that's where we're at so far. That's everything we've done. Yeah, that's all I got, dude.
Yeah, all right. Well, now the goal is to buy some land and build 2 houses on it.
Yeah,
so we
with our
have to split a
dogs.
garage gym. Because this one's not cutting it.
This one's pretty small.
Yeah, look, arm's length, and we're already at the edge of the gym. I'd put a barbell in here.
That's where I want to be anyway, dude. Arm's length.
Arm's length, always.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this super long podcast about how we met, all of our struggles and growth throughout I don't know how many years. On Tuesday, we're going to have Shauna coming in here talking about nutrition, talking about her personal growth in the sport of CrossFit, and she's actually a coach and the manager at Cross Humanity, so should be cool.
Yeah. See you guys soon.
Yeah.